So what's up, guys? Where are we at my skating game? Let me show you something. Isn't that the coolest thing you ever see? Hold triangle to land, and if you don't land, then of course you get hurt. So if you're too high in the air, you have to hold triangle to land, and then you get stunned. And then there's going to be a high score system where you could try to compete with other people. I'm working on a ramp system right now. That's actually one of the hardest things to program, even harder than the grinding. The grinding wasn't all that difficult to pull off. It was more, it's more the ramp system where, you got it like a skateboard to where you can turn your character this way on the proper axis. That's why it's hard. It has to be on the proper axis. Otherwise, it's just turning it, flipping it, if it makes sense, to where it looks more like this instead of turning it like this. So that's what I'm working on right now. Other than that, there's a few tricks here. Other than L1 and square, that's R1 and square. L1 and square right there. Then grind, of course. Then, let's see here. Let's see if I can pull it off. You got your speed boost. Here's a trick right here. Get some air. Hold triangle. It's as simple as that, and grind on a few obstacles so far. Honestly, I get the, what's that game called? Like, I never played that game. Rocket League? I get some Rocket League vibes. Like, I was thinking about making this like a fighting game, too. Where, it's like this, but, with skateboards. And yeah, I just feel like Rocket League right now for some reason. Maybe there's, like, one more trick that I'm, like, forgetting. It's this one. And you can, like, hold buttons to, like, some things that I gotta fix. I gotta fix the animations. That actually has nothing to do with anything else. The reason why some of the animations are off is because recently I grouped that skateboard with the foot that you see on top of it, and that made it to where it's more like the skateboard is, properly positioned when you're grinding and stuff. But it also means that I have to fix some of the animations that I did previously. Like, I had to fix the fall animation right here because it was grouped together, because then he was like going through the thing, you know what I'm saying, going through the walls. And then you can also grind on this thing right here, and the controls are really, really good. Like, you might be able to see how the controls are really good right here. Some things that are going on that I gotta fine tune. I don't know why that's some of this, like, that's like the only thing where he's like, moving back and forth like that really fast. That's like the only thing where I gotta actually figure out what's going on. But everything else is really just a matter of time. And then once it's pretty much finished, I could either release it as one park, or I could like turn it into a full-fledged game. We'll see. I still got the fighting game to finish. I really want to get that finished before Dreams is released. And, we still got Polybius to work on, and we got this to work on. I think it's cooler when you have a few games to work on, because it makes Dreams feel like more than one game when you're a creator. Because when you're working on just one thing over and over again, it can actually drain you, at least me. I mean, it might not be like, you, but I like working on a few projects at the same time, because, and whenever I say a few projects, I don't mean like an RPG, then another RPG. I mean, like, we got a first-person shooter, and then we have a fighting game, a linear fighting game. Then we have, like, I guess, a skateboard game, and I consider this a platformer. There's a few other things that I might touch up on, but other than that, this is pretty much it. I'll show you guys the flip. Notice how the skateboard's like, I actually kind of like the skateboard doing that. But usually the skateboard's like, right with the foot. But the reason why it's doing that is because recently I grouped everything together with the skateboard. But it also kind of gives it a better effect whenever you're actually rolling around. Because before it was like it was a hoverboard, but now I actually feel like I'm on a skateboard, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we can turn, and I want to make it to where whenever you're turning like that in the sky, you can like get points, you know what I'm saying? That'll be easy for me to pull off. The hard thing is getting the complete linear curve, and then I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get it to where it's more of a trajectory upward instead of him flying forward. Pretty much we have to make it 2D while he's in the sky. And that's effectively where I am. Now you can get some major air. I want to like get it to where there's like words that are like, you know, saying what's happening. Once I get everything down, and like you can get some pretty good air, like you can actually get on top of that. Oh man, I'm not holding the right button, but let's see here. I think it would be easier to do it this way. No, it wouldn't do it. That's what I'm trying to do that. Oh man, so you can see how it can get really fun just doing that even. I'm not even sure if I even showed you guys this yet. So the thing about skating games, they're easy to do, but you gotta know how to polish them. Like, oh my gosh, it's funny. That's funny. You gotta know how to polish these games. As you can see, there could be like a bunch of things you have to polish. And I'd say it's because it's more technical. Like, there's more mechanics to it, if that makes sense. And because there's so many mechanics, depending on how you want your skating in, because like if I didn't add the ramp stuff like this, then I guess technically I would pretty much be ready to like pretty much, you know, like a lot of this stuff I wouldn't have to work on now, if that makes sense. That I have to fix and polish. But because we're adding that, it's messing with the whole fundamentals that I have going on already. And pretty much that's why I would say polishing skating games or any other game that you think might have mechanics like a ramp system, especially a ramp system, then those kind of games, it's just polishing, but it's easy to set up, I would say. It's pretty easy to set that up. I know a few people have probably made something like this, and I like where they're going with it, but I feel like it's not free enough, if that makes sense. Because right now, I honestly feel free whenever I'm like moving around, and I don't feel like locked down by a system. Like, I know if I grind on this, then I can grind this way too, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, some things you gotta fix. Like even the puppet itself, I had to fix it while it was grinding, right? Like this, because the hand was like moving really funny. So I had to figure out how to fix that. We fixed that, thankfully. And I'm alright with the hand moving like that. Whenever I say funny, I mean like he going like that. I'm alright with like, you know, a little bit of things. The hand moving with the wind, you know what I'm saying? I'm alright with that funniness. I ain't got no problems with that right now. Otherwise, I would have fixed it. But like simple things like that, where there's too much push when you're in the air, and then it sends you like into a linear place. Not like this. I kind of like it whenever it's like that. But like whenever you're like in the sky and then it goes left, I don't like that at all. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just don't like that. It throws it all off. Like I don't know what I'm doing. So, those are the tiny things you gotta fix, the tiny little things, but it's all because of the ramp. It's all because of the ramp. It's all because of the ramp system. So what system would you make first? Well, I made the grind system first, and now we're on the ramp system. So I would say start off with the easiest things first, which in my opinion is the grind system. And then you could start off with the ramp system, you know what I'm saying? I think I did it good the way, because then I wouldn't have anything to show people. You know what you know what I'm saying? You want to have something to show, something to show. I might have to fix that flip though. Even though I like that, it didn't like finish it completely and it makes it look funny. I definitely like what the grouping did with the air and the sky. I kind of like the skateboard doing that. Oh, we made it up here. We did it. I don't like that at all though. That flip. That's not what that's supposed to look like. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what kind of tricks should be involved in it if you guys play skating games. Tell me how many freaking tricks are in skating games. Because I'm up here, like, trying to make my own tricks because I don't know what these things are called. I know we at least got to get an ollie in there. That's the only thing I know. Got to do that kickflip, too. So 2 things we got to add. And then I consider this, you know. Then, you know, you get your score whenever you're turning in the sky like that. I feel like people like that, too. Then we make it to where, you know, when you're... I mean, I could just add an invisible wall, you know what I'm saying? Could just... Maybe that's what I need to do. I think that's it. Maybe... You might just have to add an invisible wall up there. Because I added, like, invisible walls while you're grinding. That's pretty much how you do that. That's pretty much it. Or you can do it the tag way if you want to be extra careful, you know what I'm saying? But then it's like got a starting position, and I'm all about that freedom, you know what I'm saying? But either way works. But I think that's it. And then you wouldn't like move everywhere, and then just to make the speed that moves the puppet right here, lower. I think that's it. I think we just gotta add some invisible walls up there. Alright guys, peace out. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let's be amazing.